guys! Okay, so this is the first time I'm starting a video and I'm not touching my hair, but that's only because I'm really determined not to touch it. I know I'm going to touch it during the video, but I didn't start off with touching it. Okay, so this is going to be a review on a book called Matched. I can't really show you what the cover normally looks like. I read it on the Nook. It's that one right there. It's a girl, she's in like a little green dress and she's trapped in like a little bubble. Honestly, it's like the perfect cover for this book because it's about a girl in a supposedly utopian society in like the future that make like disease perfect and everybody lives happy lives, and it's supposedly like this amazing place. Everybody's supposed to be happy and they've completely gotten rid of cancer and disease and everything is gone. It's all magics and shits and giggles and butterflies and unicorns and yeah, whatever. But then something happens to this girl and she kind of starts to realize that maybe this isn't so perfect. So the story is called Matched because basically, when you turn, I believe it's 16, they send you like a date where you're going to get matched. And they match you with who you're going to marry and have kids with. And they're going to tell you how many kids you can have with this person, what age, like there's age limits on how old you're allowed to be to have kids, all this crazy stuff. Like they're very specific. And she gets matched to somebody, which, I mean, her match was a little different. Everybody's very excited about her match, because who she gets matched with doesn't normally happen. You'll see when you read the book. But then they give her a memory card with, like, information and stuff on her match, because, like, you need to learn stuff about this person, because most of the time you don't know who the person is. But when she views that memory card that has all the information about her match, something weird happens. Yeah. They kind of like, they tell her like, oh, it's okay, like it was just a mistake, wasn't supposed to be there. But really, it was all messing with her mind. So she sits there and her grandfather ends up dying, which he dies not because like, oh, he died, like, oh my god, like they were expecting it. Because in this utopian society, they have set dates. Like, you die on your 60th birthday, I believe. Like, they kill you. But they don't really say that they kill you. They actually poison you because you get this final meal. And yeah, it turns out that there's poison in the meal. Which is just wonderful. But yeah, it's a phenomenal book, and like they regulate their food, everything. Dude, running on a treadmill, they tell you how far to go, how far not to go. They have these little pills, which they have to keep like a little bottle type thing that has 3 pills in it. It has green, blue, and red. I believe blue I think is the first one that you get. They tell everybody that blue is just in case you like get lost or like run off somewhere and end up in the wilderness. If you eat that with just water, it'll help you survive. So they almost act like it's food, but nobody's ever had to use it, so they don't really know what it's for. But you find out later what it really is for. Green is a calming pill. You're allowed to take one like once a week for the green. Yeah, people do it a lot, usually before like their match banquet, which is when they get matched to the person they're marrying. They just do it before big tests. They take just like stuff like that. Like it's just like a normal thing, just to relax you. And then the red one, nobody has any idea what it does. And when you find out like what it does, you're kind of like, oh shit, like duh, like I should have realized that. But yeah, a lot of people think it's like gonna kill you if you take it and stuff like that, and it's crazy. It's a phenomenal book. Honestly, it's my favorite book ever because it's like a love story, but it's not one of those like girly like bullshit love stories like The Notebook, and like honestly, I've never seen The Notebook, A Walk to Remember, any of those love story crap. I've never seen them. Don't want to see them. I tried to read a book called Perfect Chemistry, and it's like a girly like cheerleader meets bad boy kind of thing. I can't read that crap. No. This is almost like a sci-fi kind of thing with like all this new technology, and like nobody even knows how to write because they have like these tablets that they use for everything. Like just crazy stuff that's like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then of course she falls in love with like a hot guy, so hello, a little added bonus there. But yeah, it's basically just about when perfect societies fall, which is kind of my theme for the books that I've been reading. Let's see. I'm gonna go look at the list of books that I have down the bottom here. Oh, it's like the Hunger Games. Honestly, it's like a less gruesome version of the Hunger Games. Kind of like that whole like, oh yeah, the perfect society is like now everybody's rebelling against them and like stuff like that. And like it's really cool. Another book that I read recently, which I'll do a review on, is The Maze Runner. Phenomenal book. Very kind of similar thing. It's a little different. The Maze Runner is a little gruesome. It's creepy. No, The Maze Runner is really like the Hunger Games. Like, it's so much like the Hunger Games, it's crazy. But I think The Maze Runner was written before it. I don't know. There's another one called Delirium, which is a lot like Matched, with like the whole like utopian society, and like people start to realize like this isn't how things should be. And then another one is called Divergent. Phenomenal book. Just another really good book that I'll do a review on. Yeah, it's one of those like, not a utopian society that fails, but just like the future, and like how like things are all messed up in the future and like stuff like that. It's really good. I don't know, I'm really into futuristic things, but not like weird like alien attacks and like shit like that. Like no, not into that stuff. But yeah, you know. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I hope I inspired somebody to read this book, because honestly it is the best book I've ever read. And I loved The Hunger Games, okay? I read the first book in one night. Like, I just sat there and read it until I was done. And I was not stopping. Like, I had a doctor's appointment at like 9 o'clock the next day. I stayed up all night reading it, and then I finished it in like the lobby of the doctor's appointment. Yeah. But I think this book was even better than that. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Love you guys.